Hi there, I'm Matt Keene. Welcome to Creating a Future We Want, the visionary evaluation series where I use each page of this book as a little inspiration for a little video. And I'm on page 16 right now, and this is the introduction chapter and the part of it where I describe sort of the different sections of the book. This is about chapters 4 through 12, the sector visioning. Now, this is kind of the body of the book. It's very exciting, and you get the ultra cool me for this, because sometimes you just need to be cooler than other times, and sometimes you're less cool and forget your glasses, which is not very cool. So sector visionings, okay, chapters 4 through 12 are framed as sector visioning chapters, which are curated materials from the Deep Praxis Library. These chapters are written by people who are part of praxis quests in a variety of sectors and provide insight and information as to how these sectors have been evolving from 2020 to 2030 to address changes in the world, especially in consideration of sustainability and equity. The sector visioning chapters focus on, the titles are social protection, nature, law, business, health, financial investing, transportation, education, and design. Now, when we started this project, this book, right, we had this idea that we would try to get the perspectives from some of our favorite and some of the folks with the most experience and expertise in a variety of sectors to provide us with their perspective on what a more sustainable and more equitable future, 2030, would look like in their sector. So in law, for instance, or in design, or nature conservation, education, transportation, what would a more sustainable and equitable transportation sector, or health sector, or social protection, what would that look like in 2030? This was incredibly difficult for all of us. And keep in mind, we are attempting to vision that this can happen between sort of 2016 and 2020. We are attempting to vision something that is better. Now, very quickly, we all got into place where, like, okay, this isn't going to be any kind of utopia. I mean, none of us are quickly in a place where, oh, yeah, well, here's how you solve those problems. If anything, we're all like locked in to these iterative cycles of negativity and questioning the goodness of humanity and the potential for us to overcome the wildness of what we are witnessing in the world, particularly coming out of the United States, but in the context of all facets of sustainability, climate change, equity, discrimination, racism, just wild. So each of us had our own little strategies, I think, for figuring out, well, how do I envision certain pockets of patterns of behavior or understanding or information that is leading to or regenerating goodness, regenerating something that we would consider more sustainable and more equitable. It was very healthy. Where are these islands of order in the midst of a sea of chaos? How can we consider how to emphasize our efforts and begin to populate those islands with more and more of visions of futures that we want? So it was a challenge for, I'll be honest, some of the folks that we wanted to be involved with the book, they couldn't do it. They could not. They tried for weeks, for months. They'd write drafts and they'd attempt to provide something for themselves that felt genuine, that did not feel disingenuine. Some people could not do it, and I totally understand. Totally understand. I myself struggled with the parts of the book that I was specifically responsible for, where it had a similar sort of similar task to envision that more sustainable, equitable future. Well, these people, these very good friends, beautiful people that assisted us with these sector visioning chapters 4 through 12, they worked incredibly hard. They provided us with their praxis quests, with their version of their own deep praxis. I loved every bit of it. I can't wait to work through it through the rest of this book. Was going to read more, but can hardly see because it's cloudy and sunglasses. My name is Matt Keene. Thank you for visioning, and thank you for visiting Creating a Future We Want, the Visionary Evaluation Series. What's your vision of a more sustainable, equitable future in the sector you're working in?